Alright, we can do this. Maybe. Hi. I'm Aura, but as you can see, it's a very busy front area. That might be more common for a while. I'm gonna see if we can get through this, but we have some like health update stuff. For clarity, because I don't think we've used this anonymous picture and stuff before, the picture isn't meant to like look like a specific altar or anything. We picked a picture that was like hiding their face basically, but it's not meant to represent anything specific about the altar, and we would use it generally for, we have a separate one that we use a lot more often for anonymous littles. This is just a general anonymous thing, and we might change the picture at some point. We've had this one for a while, but it's just meant to be a random picture that seems fitting specifically in the sense that they're like hiding their face somewhat, you know? Okay, so I know we at least put this in a community post generally, but we've had ongoing health stuff with more appointments and procedures and stuff than normal. That is still ongoing, but that has been less disruptive of filming and stuff like that for a while. What is almost certainly the biggest of the procedures was the first thing that we got done, and that had the longest recovery. So unless things change, that's probably less disruptive overall, but it is still ongoing. Probably will be for months still. And we haven't gone into any specifics really about what that is. I guess we've talked about it in a little bit more detail on our Patreon exclusive vlogs, but outside of that, I don't think we really have. But it's it's nothing scary like that you guys need to worry about that we're not okay or anything like that. It's pretty like common basic procedure things, but just stuff that had like piled up for a while we were dealing with other health things and insurance issues and whatnot. We are also dealing with some med changes currently, like the dose of a couple of our meds, which seems to be helping overall, but still like meds changes can be disruptive and stuff. So that's one of the things that's been going on. This is also a bad time of year for us for trauma anniversaries. We're almost through that now, but not quite yet, and that's been a big part of what's been interrupting stuff, because we don't want to push anyone to like film anything when they're not comfortable And even if they usually are, but they aren't right now, or if they usually wouldn't be around the front so much and they're not okay with it, that type of thing can affect it a lot. And also just generally it drains a lot of our energy, and like we're not generally gonna intentionally film like during flashbacks and stuff for the most part. There might be some amount of like partial flashbacks and stuff that we push through, but we would only do that in the case of like we wouldn't push ourselves to do that because we feel like we need to. We would do that if we think it would help. Like if we're giving it a chance to help ground us, and that it has the bonus of also being productive, like filming something or whatever. But we're not going to push ourselves if we don't think it would help or we're not comfortable with it right then or whatever, because of feeling like we need to for any reason. We need to take care of ourselves and respect each other's consent and stuff like that within our system. And what exactly that looks like can change a lot day to day and stuff. And depending on the alters involved and all kinds of things. This is also around the time of year that our allergies start getting worse, which wouldn't normally be a big deal, but it's possible that that and or trauma symptoms being higher this time of year are triggering one of the biggest things that's been an issue, which is vertigo, which is a symptom we've had before. And the last time it got bad was this same time of year as it started getting bad again. So that makes us think, and we've checked with our specialist and things, and it would make sense for it to be tied to either or both of trauma symptoms or allergies, that both of those could trigger vertigo, especially if we're already susceptible to it with our disability and everything, because it can be a symptom of our POTS. So we are working on things to try to help with that, and we have new meds for that as well, and they do help, but they give us side effects that would make us not able to film or stream or anything while we like are having the meds in our system. So it helps with the vertigo, but it doesn't help in a way that would let us film and stuff. So if we're having a bad vertigo day, we wouldn't be able to film unless we find a different solution, which seems like it would need to be more of a preventative type solution. So if we need to be on different allergy meds or something like that might help. So that's an ongoing process, trying to figure out if this might just be what this time of year looks like for the foreseeable future, or what else we might be able to do about it. So we're dealing with that. That's one of the things that pretty suddenly and badly disrupted all of our everything, but especially filming and streaming and stuff. Which, because we had a stretch of over a week, I think, where it was every day, like most of every day, and we could maybe film sometimes with the vertigo, but it'd be miserable. And like I said, we can't if we've taken the meds for it. What we can't do for sure is play almost any video game. Anything that has like the camera perspective or whatever move, like the way it does in Genshin and Minecraft and stuff, where when you move the mouse around, what you're looking at changes. Any amount of that triggers it really badly, and we have tested it a few times even when we're not already having vertigo issues, and the second we try to open and start playing a game like that, it triggers it immediately. So if we start tiptoeing back into gaming streams, it would be extremely limited what games we could play. Dofus has been vertigo safe so far, and there's a variety of different things we can do on there, different characters and different types of gameplay and stuff, so that could help in the meantime. And there are other ones that we haven't tried yet, but we think there might be a chance, like Cat Goes Fishing might be one that's not as bad, so as long as we're not already struggling, that one might be fine, but we're going to test it not live before we try that. But other things like that we're going to see if they end up being doable, and maybe we'll end up finding new games along this process. We also might try to do some phone game type things. We found a way to capture that. Like we could do word game type stuff. But all of that would be just the vertigo component of it, which hasn't been the only thing. Like there's another big thing that has also been disrupting work stuff, which is that things going on in our system generally right now, some changes and stuff that we're not going to go into specifics of, at least right now, are it's doing really good. Stay here. I'm going to talk in like general terms about some of the impact, but not really the causes. Stuff related to the channel, like filming and streaming and editing and stuff like that, became triggering based on some stuff going on in our system. And we're working through that part of it, and we've made some good progress on that, which is why I'm filming this to begin with, because I would not do that without the consent of the people being triggered if they are like unable to avoid being around the front when it's happening. So if it's triggering them up here and they can't leave, then I'm going to get their consent before doing something. But we've talked, like we've been working on it a lot, and about what we do to keep this safe for ourselves and everything, and talking about the ways that it helps us and the ways that it helps me, Aura, a lot. And like I've been going a little stir crazy, not being able to do a lot of the stuff that I normally do, because suddenly not being able to do most work things and most video games, and when vertigo is bad enough, not being able to really watch anything even takes away just about everything I spend any decent chunks of time on. So trying to deal with all of that, but it's also been impacting our internal communication and increasing our dissociation around the front. Especially when I'm trying to do work type stuff, which is part of why the front is so crowded right now, because a lot of people are helping me and helping with any triggers as they come up and stuff like that. That's why there's a few caretakers around, and Josh and Raven in particular are trying to help me with the dissociation to be able to keep like talking through it. My watch is telling me that my heart rate is high. That's fun. Not like dangerously or anything. I have it set at a very low bar, but it just tells me if it is higher and my watch doesn't think I'm exercising, which is true, I'm not exercising. I have mixed feelings about my, I guess, somewhat comfort level, but also like expectations, I guess, of like the quality of our videos and stuff, about trying to start filming more like normal if we are going to be dissociating so much that it's so much harder to stay present enough to like finish thoughts out loud, and how much harder this might be to edit, because it is sometimes triggering for us to like rewatch stuff that we were triggered in. And I haven't gotten to a point of trying to edit any of the stuff that we've been trying to film where we're dissociating this much. Like, there were some of the working up to being able to do this was with Patreon stuff, especially vlog clips, trying to film vlog clips, which we have a different kind of idea of. Like, those are more relaxed and less edited, and it feels more like expected and fitting to me for those, compared to like normal videos for vlog clips to like I'm less worried about like executing it well. Like, I'm more comfortable, I guess, looking and like seeming disabled and like we're struggling to do it and stuff like that. But I don't know, like, I might be holding myself to too high of a standard. So I guess trying to find that balance between like, because I'm also like, if it's uncomfortable for me, I'm also allowed to not make myself uncomfortable. Like, I'm allowed to have that be a boundary of that's not what I want most of our normal videos to look like. I kind of accepted that this video would look like that, and it feels more like natural to me for this one to look like that, because it's the topic of the video, it's what I'm talking about. So it's kind of functionally just like giving examples of what I'm talking about just in real time. And I don't know how much editing I might do for this video. Because I already normally include some, like, if we dissociate for a while and stuff, sometimes I speed it up and stuff like that, and I don't always include all of it. Yeah, so I guess we kind of have to figure out the balance between what we should treat as like a consent comfort issue and what we should treat as accepting that we are disabled, and that it's okay for us to look disabled on a channel where we talk about our disabilities. Like, and there's some middle ground in there, because it's okay for there to be things that we're not comfortable showing, even if it arguably fits like the category of our content. Like, it's okay for us to not want to film flashbacks. Or, like, med side effects and stuff. Like, we're allowed to not be comfortable with those things and to not do things that we're not comfortable with. But I also want to pay attention, I guess, to the difference between that and more like the perfectionist side of that same decision, I guess, of the idea that it would be inherently worse content, which maybe you guys can let me know if you care, like, if you would rather see more content, even if it's like lower quality. Obviously, if whatever stuff we land on being a consent issue, your input won't change that if it's a consent issue or a boundary for us to not film that. But knowing, like, if it's even helpful to see some of these things, or like what your thoughts are generally, I guess, on that stuff could help any amount of it that's more on the perfectionist side of things. That's everything on my list, I think. And I'm pretty sure Josh is telling me to wrap it up. Because our mental health symptoms can spiral our physical symptoms too. So we need to be careful about those things to not be pushing ourselves too hard. But we wanted to give this little update. I think we made a post at some point a few weeks ago mentioning some of the health stuff. But I don't know how much we said, and we didn't know about the system changes yet when we said that. But yeah, I wanted to make a video, and I'm gonna test to see how editing this goes, and you might not actually see this for a while, depending on how that goes, so we will see. But we're working on things, we're making progress on some of this stuff, and we are going to continue to take care of ourselves, but I hope that taking care of ourselves starts to include more of this again, because I miss it, and I think it helps me a lot. And it's something I care about. So yeah, that has been this health update, basically. We'll see if at any point in the near-ish future we give an actual system update with any of the specifics of what's going on, but we are currently not going to share that information publicly. We are working on a Patreon special offer that we might set up on the Patreon end soon, so you can keep an eye out for that. Who knows, by the time I get this up, it might actually be up already, so you can go over there and check for that. You can also you can choose to be a free member over there And I think that would give you notifications when things like that happen, but also when, because we sometimes make posts that are available for anyone to see, like wishlist unboxings are in that category, and sometimes we'll put like random updates and stuff like that there as well. So that's something that you can do to get notifications of when things happen over there. At least I'm pretty sure it would work that way. Check out all of those other things below me on the screen in the description or below the video, like liking and subscribing and all those things. And let us know your thoughts about if content looked more like this for a while, of us barely getting complete sentences out, assuming that we're comfortable with whatever we choose to share. Stay here. Stay here. No, stay here. Literally in the end screen, just finished the video. Turn notifications on and stuff to see when we do manage to upload and stream and things like that, since we are less likely as of right now to be sticking to any specific schedule. Notifications are a good idea, even more than normal. And hopefully we'll keep making progress on a lot of these things, and it'll get easier soon. But otherwise, we'll figure it out as we go. And thank you for your patience and stuff when we disappear for a little bit sometimes. And almost done. Yeah, almost done. going great. I think I said all the things. Hopefully. So, thanks again for watching. Bye.